Hey fantastic people, welcome back to F1ntastic Gaming. So we're back here with the last of first challenges, and today we're going to be taking on the last of first challenge of 2020. It's the 2020 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix last of first challenge, and we're going to be racing as Sergio Perez in his racing point, as you can see. And yeah, I'm really pumped about this one because it's the last of first challenge of the season, last of this year. Obviously this is only the third last of first challenge video because I started the series pretty late in the year, but
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
so let me explain what happened, and this wasted a lot of time. So on lap number 2 we're up in P6 and we have done pretty well. We got a lot of overtakes done on the first lap, and now I'm looking to challenge Daniel Ricciardo for P5 so that I can push on, get past Charles Leclerc, and maybe challenge for a podium. Okay, so I'm really pushing hard, as you can see, and I think we can do really well, and I'm super enthusiastic. And then Pierre Gasly retires from the session and the safety car is called out. I thought, okay, this is good because this helps our strategy. We can preserve the tires, this, that, and yeah. So Pierre Gasly with an engine failure. I was pretty happy because there's pretty good excitement for a video when a safety car comes. But watch this replay. So this is Lewis Hamilton, the race leader. He goes behind the safety car and boom, just passes it. Every single lap does the same exact thing until I get fed up of it and I restart and I just close the game and everything because this glitch was really annoying me. And now we come to the second attempt, 6 wings in the setup and 0 tire pressures. We're going to be pitting on lap 6 from the softs to the mediums, and yeah, we're going to be starting P20, and hopefully there's no glitch this time. These things are out of your control, so it gets pretty annoying as we go to 5 red lights for this final last of first challenge. For the second time today, it's lights out and away we go. You can see we got a great start using the overtake mode, good getaway, using slipstream from the Alfa Romeo ahead. We make a huge dive down into turn 1, tap the Alpha Tower of Pierre Gasly, who retired when that glitch happened, and that was a beautiful dive. I really enjoyed that dive bomb. It was quite big down the inside into turn 1, and now on the exit we're trying to get through here, but you can see that the dirty air is kicking in. Even though we're using ERS, the dirty air is really bad through that corner, but we make another huge dive down the inside. It's 3 wide, we have to cut the corner a little bit. Now we're going around the outside of Carlos Sainz in the McLaren, and a huge dive down the inside of another 2 cars at this hairpin. We make contact with our teammate, the bollard comes off, and we actually can't get past our teammate, but we got past Sebastian Vettel in the Ferrari. We're using Rich Mix overtake mode down this back straight. I want to capitalize on this first lap too, Jeff. I think it's pretty important. So now we're gonna go for the dive again down the inside of 2 cars, Charles Leclerc, and now we make contact. He actually gets us, but on the exit around the outside we get the move done, and that is a beautiful move, and we actually help our teammate Lance Stroll because we slowed down Leclerc so much on that exit that Lance Stroll can slip past him and down into this next chicane. He gets that job done. It's a great overtake for us. I really enjoyed making that move around the outside, battling side by side through a chicane. That's something everybody wants. But now we're back behind Daniel Ricciardo, and you can see as we go into hyperdrive, we're doing very well in the braking zones, but there's this whole train ahead of us that's holding everyone up, especially with this dirty air, and it's really annoying. But that means we have to use the overtake mode, do very well down the straight. We can't quite get past Daniel Ricciardo, but now using overtake mode on the exit, no rich mix, but you can see coming through these corners, up the hill, and now down the hill using overtake mode. I'm planning another dive bomb down into the chicane on lap number 2, but actually I decided against it. We have approval for sector. We're going really fast, and I don't want to risk it too much. But down the inside of this hairpin, you can see we had the momentum. He was going so we just slithered down the inside, and that was a great move. We got it done. We're using overtake mode just to get a little bit clear of Daniel Ricciardo, so he doesn't make a dive bomb on us in his chicane. So that was a beautiful move. We got that done. But now I'm chasing after Valtteri Bottas. You can see he's getting held up by Alex Albon. Exceeded track limits there. We got a warning, that's okay. But now down this back straight, can we get past him on the straight? We're using rich mix, we're using overtake mode, we're at no expense, we're using so much there. But now we go for the move down the inside, nearly hit Alex Albon on the rear end. So that's why we were using rich mix and overtake mode. We couldn't get past him on the straight, but we made a huge dive into that chicane. That was a great overtake. We're doing really well in this racing point with Sergio Perez, and yeah, that's kind of showing that Sergio Perez actually is very talented. in real life, and he can make some good overtakes, but this is us doing pretty well in this game. Purple sectors now, we're probably gonna get this fastest lap, but now I have my eyes set on that podium right in front of us with Alex Albon right there. We can get past him. Lewis Hamilton sets the fastest lap. We set the fastest lap of this Grand Prix, so we are doing really well today. DRS enabled. I think we can go for it. I don't know about those top 2 positions, but we can definitely get this podium in 3rd place because Alex Albon is slower than us, and maybe this happens in the real life Grand Prix. If it does, it'll be really interesting, because if Sergio Perez outperforms Alex Albon, Red Bull might consider him as they go for a dive down the inside of Alex Albon, wheel banging there at the exit, but he actually gets a better exit than us. This is incredible side by side battling for me and Alex Albon, but now we open DRS, we have rich mix, we have the advantage, but we still didn't get past. We actually had to use overtake mode to overtake Alex Albon, which is very surprising, because I thought DRS would be good enough, but we had to wait until I realized that okay, we need overtake mode. And yeah, that was very surprising. I thought we would just breeze past with DRS, which normally happens in real life, but now we've gotten that move done. And if this does happen in real life, that Sergio Perez does much better than Alex Albon, Albon's seat at Red Bull could be under risk. It could be very risky for him. So yeah, if this happens in real life, it'll be a really nice battle. And Sergio Perez is actually starting a little bit further down the grid because of his grid penalty. So this is possibly a prediction for the race. I don't know, we'll see what happens. But by the way, when I was recording this on Thursday, I had no idea that this was gonna happen and that Sergio Perez was gonna have a grid penalty and stuff. But I did know that it would be very interesting to see if Perez and Albon could battle it out. But right now we're in no man's land because the gap behind is increasing rapidly, and the gap ahead is not going to go down because it's Lewis Hamilton ahead of us. And yeah, as we come through the final corner of lap number 5 and we move on to lap number 6, there's an interesting radio message.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the hards.
I don't know what was wrong with my game, but it switched my strategy to pitting on lap number 8 onto the hard tires, which is very weird. I don't get why someone would do that. It's a very stupid strategy. But it was very weird pitting on lap number 8 onto the hard tires for like 6 laps, which is so yeah. I was gonna box this lap. I was gonna go on the straight and select that, but I actually forgot to do that. I thought I did it, but I actually didn't. And so I'm gonna switch this to go onto the medium tire. So we're gonna be going on to the mediums for sure. And now as we're gonna move on to later on in the lap, and we're gonna see that I actually put the call to box in very late, which isn't good, but again, it's a game, so the pit crew were prepared anyways, and the Racing Point pit box is quite far at the pit lane, much farther than I expected. As we come into the pit lane, we put the pit limiter on time, we slowed down for the speed limit, and you can see behind that Lewis Hamilton is on the exact same strategy as us, coming in on lap number 6 onto lap number 7, and then putting on the hard tires. It's a slow stop, 2.8 seconds, but that's what you can expect from the Racing Point pit crew, because this isn't my team, remember. And you can see as we come out of this very awkward pit exit, it's underground, but we're coming out now, and the gap ahead has definitely increased. Hamilton's around 3.8 seconds now, so it's much bigger than it was before. We come out in around P8 because we pitted a lap earlier than most of the cars. And yeah, coming through the chicane, I could really feel that new fresh grip from this fresh set of medium tires, so it's feeling a lot better, definitely. And now we're using the overtake mode, and I'm just pushing flat out now because I want to threaten this undercut on Max Verstappen. I'm sure Hamilton has probably tried to do this undercut on Max Verstappen, but you can see Max Verstappen's tag. He's coming out of the pit lane now. I thought we were gonna have a go at him later on, but we've actually come out of the pit lane just ahead of him. You can see from the proximity arrows, it was red. You can, as we're looking behind, he is so close to us. Oh my goodness, that is crazy. Me and Lewis Hamilton have done a big undercut on Max Verstappen, and Max Verstappen's behind me, so we're up into effectively P2, which is absolutely amazing. It's P3 right now because Valtteri Bottas, he hasn't pitted yet. But yeah, we're doing so well. Purple first sector, so we might have another fastest lap. And yeah, I'm so excited because we actually got past Max Verstappen in the pit stops, which is so great for us. And now we just have to keep our head down, keep pushing, and make sure that he doesn't get past us and that we can stay ahead of him. Moving on to the end of lap number 8, you can see we've kept him behind in the corners, but as we come through this final corner, we set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, and we're looking behind now because Max Verstappen, as Bottas is pitted, so we're up into P2. Max Verstappen, he's looking to overtake us. We're looking to use the advantages of dirty air and just normal raw pace and this grip in these new tires to defend from Verstappen, and obviously this Mercedes engine, because the Mercedes engine will play a big role on these straights, because on these straights, you know, this is the main overtaking opportunity for Max Verstappen, and we just have to capitalize on the dirty air, the engine. You can see we're still in standard mix because I have to save some fuel now, but yeah, generally we just have to use our engine, use our car to our advantage, and use the mechanics in the game such as dirty air, and just stay ahead of Max Verstappen. We have to make no mistakes, and you know, maybe put him under pressure. Maybe he'll push too hard and make a mistake, something like that. But if you look in the top left corner, we're actually over a second ahead now. So we've actually, our strategy kind of for this has worked, because we're over a second ahead of Max Verstappen. We're on lap number 10 now.
You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 per lap.
As I just said, our strategy has worked because we are going much faster than Max Verstappen. 0.3 a lap. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good gap that we can build. But as I said, we need to save some fuel because I was running in rich mix for quite a few laps. So I need to save some fuel, and
There's 4 laps of fuel remaining.
That's not good news, because that means that we might just stop right before the line. Like we could go into low fuel mode right before the line, and with Max Verstappen so close behind us, we can't risk that. So that's why I decided to go into lean mix or standard mix and just save fuel. For now I'm going into standard, but later on I will go into lean mix because I must save fuel. You know, there's a big risk because we've been running in rich mix for a long time. That's why we have the fastest lap. But as we make a big mistake there on that hairpin, and we're going so slow, and now Max Verstappen is right behind us, and as we move to the end of the straight, he's within 1 second of us. That means he has DRS on this next straight. That is such a big problem, because if he has DRS now, he's gonna gain time. He's gonna keep gaining time on us, and we won't have DRS because there's nobody ahead of us. And you can see he's right up our tail, and that is crazy stuff. One small mistake on a hairpin, or rather large mistake, but it's a mistake on a hairpin, and suddenly Max Verstappen's all over your rear end trying to overtake you. As we come through this section, kind of reminds me of turn 8 at Turkey. We go a little bit wide on the entry of this corner, and you can see he goes for the move down the inside. He pushes us off track. And then we brake late here, take the inside line. We go a little bit wide here, but we block him. We use the tightness of the track, and that is crazy how he just went for that move, absolutely sent it down the inside. He used overtake mode in that section, and then he just drove straight. He just drove us straight off the track. Kind of reminds me of Austria 2019, where he kind of drove Charles Leclerc off the track, although he had his right for that, and yeah, no penalties for him. But yeah, that was crazy side-by-side racing on such a tight corner. He tried to overtake us. Not the best decision, but it's worked out for us because now he's lost momentum. Maybe he has a bit of damage or something, but yeah, it's not going well for Max Verstappen. I never expected him to make that move. It was such a tight corner, and yeah, he just drove us straight off the track. But now we move on to lap number 12, and you can see that on the top left corner, he goes back within 1 second of us, but then back out. I think in a couple of corners, like in these chicanes, he's gaining a little bit more time on us, but when it comes to the detection zones for DRS, he stays out of 1 second, just barely out of 1 second. And yeah, we're just doing well. We're keeping our calm, just keeping this second place secure. I've forgotten about first place because Lewis Hamilton just waltzed off with that win. But yeah, I really think that we can keep this podium with us, and this is going to be super successful for us. We have another radio message from Jeff telling us that Verstappen is dropping back as we move on to the last penultimate lap of this race. And yeah, so Verstappen, he's out of the picture now. I think he's just hit tire wear. He's just not able to nurse that car home. He's just nursing that car home. He's not able to overtake us. But now we're going to cockpit view for this last lap, and this is the last lap of the last race in this first challenge of 2020. And yeah, this is a kind of a tradition I had on older F1 games, where I would go into the cockpit for the last lap, especially in career mode. I haven't done that in F1 My Team, F1 2020 My Team career mode so far. I might do it in Season 2, but I want to do this tradition now because this is the last lap in the last first challenge of 2020. And yeah, it's just really nice being in the cockpit, and it just feels so real. And yeah, it's just a tradition I started a couple of years back, and I just remembered it when I was doing this challenge. I just wanted to do it again. And now on this last lap, we're just braking hard for these chicanes, keeping our cool. We have a lot of fuel saved, so we were running in rich mix. But Lewis Hamilton wins the last first challenge, the 2020 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We come through the final corner to take second place. We're celebrating at the line because this has been a great race for us. One final last first challenge of this year. We got second place and driver of the day. I think we deserve it. And yeah, let's just watch this podium ceremony.
Yet another historic win under their belts. Well done to the team at Mercedes. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
What a year it has been. I mean, 2020, it's etched in the history of Formula 1. It's etched in the history of the world. Because, I mean, this has been a year like no other. And yeah, we just couldn't have expected anything that happened this year. And now we're coming to in this final race. It's pretty emotional, and it was a great race for us. I'm really happy that we could go off with this podium, go off with a bang. And guys, if you did enjoy this video, be sure to smash that like button, be sure to smash that subscribe button. I mean, this final last first challenge of 2020, it was a good one. I think it was a good one, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll see you soon in the My Team career, and hopefully we can have even more exciting and even more fun last first challenges in 2021 when the new F1 2021 game comes out. And even if it doesn't, we will probably do some challenges on the 2020 F1 game before the next game comes out around July. So guys, this is F1ntastic Gaming.